Well, I was just lucky. I was on trying out for the Yellowknife school football team, and Father Barry was the coach. I played center, mainly because they didn't have anybody that could snap the ball to their legs. Actually, I was snapping the ball to the punter, who's what, 12, 13, 14, 15 years back, and not very many guys could snap the ball that far. So I was lucky. For that reason, I was, a member of the team. I think if anything, I could have done was something like that, because otherwise I have no talent. No, during that time we didn't drink any water. So now, if you do that, you might go to jail. You might die for the lack of water. I'm not doing it all the time. You wouldn't show that you were hurt. You just try to do the best you can, trying to get up for the next play. But he would know. He would know. Father Barry would know. And then he would take you out. So we knew his idiosyncrasies. So with that over there, he yanked us out and said, "You had to get out of there." He was kind of very conservative. He wanted to do less mistakes. Father Barry was, everything was, you be prepared for the ball game and you be ready. And everybody going to be ready. That's the important thing. Everybody is in line, everybody is together, everybody is accounted for. That is important. Everybody, no matter what position you played and how often he played, he was important. I think that I would never forget that. As long as he was on our team, he was important. He never did substitute. I think that's one of his Father Barry's coaching techniques. Is he never did really substitute freely. Nobody could have the discipline that he had. When his car came up the driveway, we said, "Hey, the old man." And boom, we'd all sit down in our bleachers. He had bleachers then. About 8, 9, 10 bleachers high. Then we'd sit down, and he'd come down the steps, and he'd say, "Hello, boys," and he'd say, "Hello, Father." And then we'd take off from there. Well, it's regular formation, yeah. And then we just get a position to our sweep position, like the tailback. I know that I was supposed to snap the ball to his right knee, left knee, depending on what side we're gonna go. And to the fullback, when we go over the center and things, he just dropped the ball. So where he runs up to the ball and catches the ball. And that is very important, that's a must. You give the ball carrier a little lead, so he doesn't have to slow down in catching the ball and going. So that's very, you notice I said that pretty easily. That's because we worked on that pretty much. We would walk the play, walk. He said, "This is how you go," and we'll walk. We'll have one guy, we'd follow one guy, and follow his cue, and then we do it over and over again. And we wouldn't argue. He says, "Do it again." We'll do it again. We're thinking, "Gee, what? We're gonna do it again? And again, and again." We just said over and over and over again. But his Father Barry was our coach, so we didn't argue, and we just accepted it, and we just practiced. But for that reason, we get better. That is probably very important, that we would work it to perfection. And he'd sit down. As soon as he sat down and the bus started to go, he would reach into his overcoat, take out the Seabiscuit horseshoe. And then he'd tell us about Seabiscuit. And Seabiscuit was a great horse. He was a fighter, always worked hard. Kind of put Ilani in his place over there. And for that reason, we kind of took to Seabiscuit. We'd tell him how to pass around, and we'd grab the horseshoe by the side like this, the plate in the middle. We'd kiss it and we'd pass it in the back. You did the academic first, and then if you didn't do the academic, you'd stay out of practice. And if he took you out of practice to go and study your homework, that's very important. Yeah, that was Father Bray. The balance is there, see, and that's why we kind of took to him. Thanksgiving Day game. There's always in Interscholastic League of Honor, there's always a double header. Turkey Day, you play the first game and the second game. During those days over there, when you make it in a Turkey Day game, it's a big thing. I think we played in the first game of the Turkey Day, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's great. You cannot get over that feeling over it. Just the idea with all the people in the stands, you just accepted it, and you just accept the whole lot of people coming to watch the ball game. What Father Bray, one of his most important things was you treat everybody the same. Whether you are the last team or the first team, an all-star, whatever. In fact, the all-star didn't mean a darn thing. You were on a team, and when you were on a team, you were important. We come to all-stars where you pick somebody up over the rest of the people. It's not his style. In fact, maybe he thought that all-stars made guys big-headed and, think there's something special. Why, if everybody have a lay, it's okay. But if only if you're going to have the ball, have a lay, nobody gets a lay. He'd rip it off you. He'd rip it off you. Why? Why should one guy have the lay, or a few guys have the lay when everybody's participating, everybody's practicing to get to the game, and all of a sudden, because he's an all-star, he gets a lay? No way, no special treatment. No one individual was the favorite. So everybody is important, and that is very important. I think that's a great philosophy. Sometimes he get tough on some guys, but in the end, you know that it was fair. So that's why we stuck by him all the way. Well, his values that he taught, he not only went to the students, but went abroad to the community. And I think that's why a lot of people accept the Ilani School, because of the values. Everybody is important.